Mrlubufu. I'm here with the complete Modern Masters set review. I will be doing this almost strictly in the limited perspective. So for those of you that might be drafting or going to GP Vegas, this is the sort of thing. I will not be looking at financial implications of cards they printed or did not print. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and start with white. So first we have Artikar Valkyrie. It is a complete bomb in this format, I believe. I mean, it already was before, but there's a very distinct lack of removal, and you will see why. So this one's quite powerful. Definitely something to keep in mind. Amaru Scout is one of the ones for the Black-White Rebels. They built 10 different things for each color pairing. So Amaru Scout is in this case. It's okay. I mean, it's a 2-1 for 2-1 for 2 searches for rebels. But there's not that many really good rebels, so keep that in mind. Amaru Seekers is a 2-2 that can't be blocked except by artifact and or white creatures, which is okay. It's a rebel to keep in mind. Angel's Grace, while, full of fun moments, it's not, terribly powerful. I mean, yeah, you don't lose the game one turn, but you're probably so far behind you probably lose. Auriok Salvagers has been bumped up to rare, and the reason for this is because of cards like Executioner's Capsule. So this one, especially in like a sealed pool, probably, if you have the cards to support it, certainly could be powerful for the blue-white artifact idea. We have Avian Changeling, which goes well in either of the tribal themes, whether it be Rebels or Giants, which is okay. I mean, it's a 2-2 flyer for 3. Blinding Beam, reprint from Old Mirrodin. And I'm not sure what to think of it, really. I mean, it's certainly a very, very tempo play. And for 4 mana, you can get the Frost Breath effect, which was okay. In M12 was it? I believe it was M12. Bound in Silence, probably the only good piece of removal in white. Enchanted creature can't attack or block, and it's a rebel aura. So, depending on the number of rebels you get, this might be incredibly relevant. Sen's Enlistment, however you want to pronounce it, from, I believe it was Morningtide Eventide. This card was surprisingly powerful if you had the mono white deck in that format. So one of the things that makes it hard to evaluate cards in this format is, well, what was good in the past, and will it still be good? This one I'm not sure if it'll be as powerful, just because of the mono white theme is very, very hard to pull off. Cloud Goat Ranger's been bumped down to uncommon. This one's incredibly powerful. I mean, it's Cloud Goat Ranger, right? There's cards that come out and say, hey, what about Cloud Goat Ranger? Or this is just like Cloud Goat Ranger. So, very powerful. 6 power for 5 mana, distributed, and it can be a big flyer. So, certainly something to keep in mind. Certainly a swingier uncommon. Core Homunculus is okay. I mean, it could be a 2-2 for 1 if you have enough artifacts. Dispel's Capsule. A capsule. It's a little early. I'm not sure what to think of it, really. I mean, it's certainly another artifact, and the ability to blow up other artifact enchantments is certainly a sideboard-like effect. Elspeth Knight Errant is just, I mean, she's a Planeswalker, and a good one at that, so definitely very powerful. If you open her up in a sealed pool or a draft, you should probably take her. Ethersworn Canonist, it's okay. Certainly better sideboard hate against Storm in normal Modern, but it's fine. I'm not a huge fan of Feud Killer's Verdict, but it's another giant card, so yeah, I'm not sure. Flicker Wisp is also a fine one. It can certainly do plenty of things. I'm not sure how interactive it is. It looks fine though. 3/1 flyer for 3 is not something you complain about either. Gleam of Resistance. This is an Alara block card. Creatures you control get +1/+2 and untap for 5 mana. I don't think it's good. The basic land cycle certainly makes it better, but not insane. Hillcomer Giants, certainly I think is a sideboard card. A 3/3 Mountain Walk for 4. I mean, 3/3 evasive guy for 4 is always pretty good. Ivory Giant with new art. I very much liked it in future site drafts. The important thing to know is it's been bumped down to common, from uncommon, and certainly helps the mono white theme. A turn 1 suspended Ivory Giant certainly makes people think. Kataki War's Wage, I think, certainly hoses anyone who tries to go artifacts in this set, because you can just sideboard the Kataki and then just win. Kithian Greatheart, you basically only want to play if you're playing Red-White Giants as a low creature drop, which seems fine. A 3/2 first strike seems good, but you probably won't have a giant for the first 3 or 4 turns, or even 5 turns of the game. They're always so expensive, so don't expect to be a 3/2 first strike, every time you play. Metaboon's okay, I think. I didn't have much experience playing with it, but it certainly seems like it could be a powerful effect. I mean, the ability to evoke or cast it otherwise seems decent. Otherworldly Journey, it's fine. It's an arcane spell, which is important to keep in mind, but I was never a fan of this card. Pallid Mycoderm, so the fungus green-white tokens theme is the other one with white. I got all right. Blue-white artifact, red-white giant, green-white tokens, black-white rebels. There we go. So this one, a good one to pick up. I mean, it's 4 mana, so it's a little bit on the pricier side, but there's that. So Path to Exile, the second legit piece of removal in white. So notice how very little there has been. That's true for most of the colors. There's very little good removal. So if something has 4 or more toughness, it's so hard to get rid of in this format. So prioritizing removal is certainly something to keep in mind. Revelark can certainly be a complete beating most games. Saltfoot Recluse was a card that most people didn't use very often in the formats it was in. It's also a rebel to keep in mind. But this card can be surprisingly powerful. Getting -2, -0 until end of turn makes combat very, very difficult for a lot of people. So keep that in mind if you have the rebel to back it up. Sanctum Gargoyle is certainly a very, very powerful artifact if you go in that route. Sandsower is okay. I'm not a huge fan of it. It helps with tap 3 and tap to tap a creature seems pretty sketchy, to be honest. Stir the Pride, a card that was very, very powerful in original Mirrodin. I think it still will be again. Because it's whenever this creature deals damage, you gain that much life. So it's not lifelink, so it is a triggered ability, so keep that in mind. But this could certainly be 7 mana, win the game. I'm not sure how slow the format is. Stone Hero Giant. Be wary of the Stone Hero Giants if people are playing them. It's very possible they have a good equipment card, and the best are the swords. So if you have a sword, you have Stone Hero Giant, you should probably be playing those colors. Another piece of artifact or enchantment removal. Test of Faith is okay. Not really. I'm not a huge fan of it. Veteran Armorer is a card that I keep liking more and more every time I play it in Limited, just because it could be such a blowout sometimes. +0/+1 is not a trivial ability. And then, of course, you have Yosei, which for 6 mana, big 5/5 flyer, should play it. Okay, that's it for white. Check out the other parts. Thank you all for watching.